Stay on your feet at all times. You can typically count on one finger, not that one, on one finger, the number of blocks a point guard will get an entire season. So why leave your feet? If someone's going to shoot from the three and it's already on its way, are you going to block it based on what we've taught you? No, it's never going to happen. All you're going to do by leaving your feet is let them go by you for an offensive rebound or shot fake and drive by you, and both are disastrous. Stay on your feet. Here's a helpful hint. You want to make your presence felt on defense. If you can't block shots, learn how to take charges. Learn to read when opposing players' teammates are penetrating, get into their driving lane, take charges. A point guard's block shot is taking an offensive charge. That's how point guards block shots. A point guard's block shot is taking an offensive charge. The only place you should try and steal the ball is in the passing lanes. That's where you steal the ball. And once your opposing point guard passes the ball, you should be backed up a step, seeing what's going on and knowing where your opponent is, correct? That gives you the ability to see where the guy with the ball is looking, the player with the ball is looking, and recognize where the passing lanes are. Most players have the habit of holding the ball up here and knowing where the play is developing, and boom. So how important is it to scout the opposing team and find out what they run on offense? If you could figure that out, couldn't you find out where the passes are supposed to go? Most offensive teams never get past their third or fourth option. Typically not past their third. 90% of the time, unless it's an extremely disciplined team, they'll never go past the third option on offense. If you know what the first and second option is on offense, you can pick up 5 or 6 steals pretty easily. It's a good way to do it.
Rebounding is pretty tough for the point guard because he is within the offense itself. And when he's within the offense, he's not real close to the basket very often. Okay? So it's tough for him to rebound.
Rebounding, responsibilities. On offense, this is pretty short and sweet. You're not going to get a lot of offensive rebounds, maybe one a game, and usually that's going to be on the fast break. I don't think most coaches want their point guards underneath the basket. Now, we're talking a different scenario if it's Magic Johnson and he drove to the basket and he gets a putback. He's 6'9" when he played, right? You're talking a totally different scenario. If you're talking Penny Hardaway, 6'6", 6'7", that's different than a 5'6" point guard, a 6'2" point guard. Most rebounds are grabbed, they say, below the rim, but usually only an inch or two below the rim, not 3 feet below the rim. You're not going to do your team a lot of good by trying to get a lot of offensive rebounds. You're the safety. That means you prevent the other team from getting easy fast break layups. If you know they only have one guy that can bring the ball up on the break, which you should know, then you know where he is when a shot goes up, and you shade over to that side and be in the passing lane or prevent the pass. Or if you have to, you just turn when they secure the ball, get back in the paint right here, and you start directing traffic for your teammates. I got the ball, you take the left wing. You've got the right wing. That's how you direct traffic. We didn't have a lot of that going on last night, did we? We had point guards penetrate all the way down here, and people were off and running. Easiest way to lose a game is to give up a lot of layups. Easiest way to lose a game. 90% shot is what a layup is, compared to a 40% shot from the three-point line. Always box out. Second thing on defense is that your teammates know, because a lot of players aren't very good at maintaining sight on the ball and their opponent, is communicate. Yell it out. Shot. That's one of your responsibilities.
I'm looking for a point guard who can quickly receive the outlet pass from the rebounder and then push the ball up the floor as fast as he can while maintaining good control. He then needs to identify who is open and get them the ball in a place where they can score.
Let's talk about fast break responsibilities. You have to be explosive with the ball. You have to be able to dribble the ball up the floor faster than most defenders can run. Is that pretty fast? What players have you ever seen with that kind of speed? Muggsy Bogues. He has afterburners, doesn't he? Do you think he was just born that way? I think he did it out of survival. He knew he had to get ahead of people on a fast break. Magic Johnson had that kind of speed with the ball. Magic Johnson was not fast. He was fast with the ball, though, because it was like a light switch for him. And I'm not even a Magic Johnson fan because I'm from Boston. But tremendous speed with the ball. Tremendous speed with the ball. This means this gives you the ability to create a fast break. Most players only run a fast break. Anybody can run a fast break. That just means you bring the ball up the floor, you're going 3/4 to semi-full speed, guys are trying to get ahead of you. Anybody can run a fast break. Point guards have to learn to create a fast break. That means if their numbers are 2-on-2, you go faster than one of them can run, and now you have a 2-on-1. If it's a 3-on-3, you go faster than one or two of them can run, you got a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1. You have seen players do this, you know what I'm talking about. You have to create a fast break. You have to have an intelligent mindset. What this means is you're pushing the ball up the court, but all of a sudden it bogs down. There's 3 defenders, there's 3 offensive players. You have to read numbers. If that's not there, veer off, bring the ball back up, set up the offense. You have to know when the break is there and when the break is not there. You have to have an intelligent mindset. You're in charge of fast break defense. You have to direct the defense. Take the player on the right, take the player on the left, take the ball, or I have the ball, or get back on defense. Any of those things you should be commanding if there's a fast break. That's your responsibility. Because typically a 5-man isn't going to be the first guy back in the paint, is he? A 4-man, she's not going to be the first one back in the paint, right? It's going to be the point guard. You're the safety. You have to direct traffic. You have to become verbal. Finally, no easy baskets. If you got somebody coming in on a fast break layup, save your fouls. You might have to save them for the end of the game, but save your fouls. What you don't want to do is just sit there and watch people take layups. You should be quick enough to take a charge. Now, let's talk about a one-on-one situation because we're going to work this on the court. If a point guard comes down at you one-on-one, more than likely, if they're dribbling with this hand, more than likely, which side of the court are they going to still go to? 9 out of 10 times, players that are dribbling on their right are going to stop and go, jab step, do something, and try to keep going the same way. That means all you have to do is play 2 arms lengths away, take away that side, and stay down. If a point guard is dribbling up the court left-handed, I'm a left-handed player, 9 out of 10 times I'm going to try and go to my left, and if you contain that, then I'm going to come back and try to do another move, a counter move. Between the legs, change direction, or reverse pivot, whatever. But by the time a player does this, if a second defender is hustling and coming back, if you've contained me and a player does a reverse pivot, who's there to help you? You got help defense. Contain the initial penetration. And the way to do that is coming down on the court, guys dribbling right-handed, be ready to move to your right. And don't get on top of the player. be 1 or 2 arms lengths away. You know what? If a player pulls up for a jump shot there and you're 1 arm length away at that point, you live with it. But that's a lower percentage shot than a layup, isn't it? That's intelligence on defense. No easy baskets.